Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. What day is it? Oh, it's Wednesday morning, October the 25th, 2017, episode number 203. So glad to see you here this morning. And we had a house guest here for the last 2 weeks. Great friend of mine. He's been staying here. I told you like a week and a half ago that the spare room that he was staying in is right on the other side of the camera. There's a wall here right on the other side. So basically his head was like 3 feet away from my mouth every morning during the morning routine. And this morning, for the first time in 2 weeks, I don't feel guilty as I yell with exuberance, "Good morning, everybody, and so glad to see you." I will miss him though because he's gone. And he's my buddy, he's my pal, and we had a great time. Every evening when he came back from work and stuff, we'd be able to hang out and stuff. It was kind of cool. It's like being in a frat house at nighttime, at least. It was kind of fun. So having a friend. But anyways, he's gone, heading down to North Carolina, and I'm here, and we are back to the morning routine with great exuberance and loud volume. So, because there's nobody else here to wake up in the morning. They're all upstairs sleeping, so it's okay. So I hope everybody's week is going great. Betsy, good morning. Good to see you this morning. So it's Wednesday, the 25th. I can't believe it's October 25th. It just kind of struck me that, boom, November is a week from now. We're in November already. Amazing, which is exciting because I love Thanksgiving and it's coming and it's on the way. So I have some shower thoughts for you this morning from my favorite newsletter, The Hustle. Two things to think about, okay? Or statements, all right? 1, life could be worse. Milk could have pulp. That's bad. Yes. Have you ever taken your milk and poured it into your morning coffee or half and half? It's like a regular morning. You're all excited. You're going to have your morning Joe. You pour your half and half in there, and all of a sudden you see pulp-like stuff floating to the top. Yeah. That would be bad. The other shower thought, garbage bag companies can stop proving the bag won't rip and start showing that the string won't break. That is a true statement. The garbage bags now, most of the time, they don't rip. Once in a while, I buy the wrong ones and they do. But those strings, when you tie them, snap almost every single time. I know. So they have to start doing that. But those are the shower thoughts from The Hustle this morning. And I've got some stories lined up for you today. By the way, I am so sore this morning. My back muscles, my arms are yesterday, my project that I've been working on that I've been telling you guys about here at the house, last night for about 3 hours, I was sanding spackle on the ceiling. Right arm, left arm, right arm. My arms are so sore, man, just doing that for 3 hours. And then the walls, of course, but wow, that's brutal, man. Kudos to the people who do that for a living. So, although the people who do it for a living are so stinking good at it, there's very little sanding to be done by the time they're done. Me, 3 buckets on, sand 2 buckets off. It's whatever. So, but it'll be fine. So, some stories here for you. I've got one light story. I've got 2 stories that are filled with nuggets of education. They're more focused at the workforce, but I believe that there's lessons for all areas in our life and anything that we see, even if it's focused at one category or another. So this one here is interesting. The title of this article is "These 5 Common Phrases Make Bad News Sound Even Worse." Now, as I read it, there's not 5 common phrases. There's a couple of phrases, but the other ones are not phrases, they're how-tos. But still, this is good information when you have to deliver disappointing news, how not to make it sound worse. Now remember, this article is focused at the workforce, so if you're a manager or if you're somebody there who has to fire somebody or deliver some kind of a bad report or whatever it might be. Number 1, I'm so sorry, but not supposed to use that one. Be compassionate, but don't apologize for your bad news or talk at length about how bad you feel. I'm sorry, but is the quickest way to make delivering bad news negatively impact how people perceive you. Never knew, right? Number 2, while I have you here. Sounds fair enough, right? No, bad news should never come as a surprise. Failure to warn senior leadership of impending bad news such as poor sales or loss of a major client is a cardinal sin. So is failure to warn subordinates about mistakes in their performance and provide an opportunity for them to make corrections and improvement. So you are not supposed to say, while I have you here, right? And I guess you probably should never say that to your spouse either, right? While I have you here, not a good approach. Number 3, with too many details. Share context, but share it quickly. Too much background up front can make you look insecure about getting to the bad news itself. Don't be tempted to over-explain. This is a personality trait. I tell my wife and I, we go back and forth on this for all the time. My wife is one of the sweetest people that God has created. And she is a blessing, just like all the people out there who have her personality type, a true blessing. They are the ones who keep this planet moving and getting along. Because if somebody says to that personality type, my wife is an example of that, but this personality type, can you do this? That personality type would say, no, I cannot do that, and this is because why? The details, right? This, I got to do this. Where my personality type is, can you do this? No. That's it. No need, I don't feel the need to explain why, because it doesn't really matter why. The answer is just, no, I'm not able to, So with too many details, don't be tempted. I don't feel a temptation to over-explain, but some personality types do. Number 4, I'm not clear on the details, but never hide the facts. While withholding information out of fear or to save face may be a natural reaction, make sure you have all the information you'll need before you share the unpleasant update. And last but not least, without planning ahead, once you know that you have to convey a difficult message, start thinking about how you will say these words. Because if you don't, you will sound like Michael Scott on The Office, where he just kind of bumbles his way through and says things, trying to figure out how to get somewhere to some place and doesn't really know how to get there. So, interesting article. It's in the show links if you want to read it in depth. If you're in a position where that information would be more applicable to you, I would go and check it out, freedomconvo.com, and then the morning show link, and it'll be at the first today's episode. So, next, this Facebook is now eating the world, is the first line of this article. Literally. The social media giant unveiled plans to get into the food delivery business by swallowing up online ordering pages from other food delivering companies. This is very cool, guys. I actually went on and checked it out last night just to see about it. This is how you do it. An order food button now appears under the Explore section of Facebook's homepage. So on my mobile phone, if you go into Facebook and you go to that little button with all the lines and you hit it and it has like most recent history, all that stuff, there is one there that says order food now. You hit order food button. Clicking that brings up a list of nearby restaurants with a rating out of 5 stars, a short description, a price estimate, and the restaurant's distance from you, and the address. Some of the restaurants also have another button next to them that says Start Order. I went on there last night. There was restaurants nearby me. Now, we live way out in the middle of the country here, so there is no delivery options on there, but I could start an order at several restaurants right from the Facebook app. The amazing thing is that the ordering delivery process isn't handled by Facebook. So when you go on there, it takes you to, like, if a restaurant is set up with like Grubhub, it goes Facebook, you hit the button, and you see it load Grubhub on your screen for that restaurant, and boom, you're placing your order like right there. But it's got all of them in one spot instead of bouncing all around to different places. Very, very cool. The company has been testing the food delivery platform since last year, and it's now rolling it out through the U.S. And I promise you, if it's here in Dalton, Pennsylvania, it's everywhere. So just saying. But because we are not at the forefront of breaking technology in the out here in Scranton area, I promise. So I remember when I was a kid, and I would go to New York to visit my family there, and my older brother, he'd be seeing movies, and I'd be like, that's awesome. It's a brand new movie. We don't get that movie until in Scranton area until 2 weeks after New York City is done with it. Now it's a little bit better. Obviously, all the theaters get it at the same time. But back when I was a kid, 2 weeks later we would get it after New York was done with the movies. I think they kind of like passed them on to Scranton, like, here, you guys can watch our movies now or something. I don't know. But let's see here. Okay, one last story, guys. This story, let's slow down. Take some time and think about this, because I learned something about myself reading this story, this article. Very interesting. The title is Psychologists Say There Are 3 Kinds of Burnout, and Here's How to Beat It. The key here is that there's 3 kinds of burnout. I always thought there was like one. It's like I worked to death, overloaded, and I'm just burnt out. There's just too much going on. But no, there are other kinds. This is really, really cool article. You're probably going to want to go read this in its entirety, so make sure you go to the show links and check it out. But here we go. The 3 types of burnout. One is overload burnout. This is the one that we kind of all expected, right? This is the kind of burnout that most of us are familiar with. People work harder, even more, and ever more frantically in search of success. Roughly 15% of employees in the survey fell into this category. The second kind of burnout, listen to this one, involves being under-challenged. People in this category feel underappreciated and bored, and grow frustrated because their jobs lack learning opportunities and room for professional growth. Roughly 9% of employees in the survey felt this way. Because under-challenged people find no passion or enjoyment in their work, they cope by distancing themselves from their job. Very interesting. And I was reading this, and I was actually kind of thinking about this, that this might be something that's familiar to how I feel sometimes. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and I can just keep going on because it's just over and over again. And that under challenge, no room for lack of learning opportunities or room for professional growth. Very interesting, Number 3, the final type of burnout is neglect. Neglect burnout. The result of feeling helpless at work. 21%, 1 out of 5 employees fell in this category, agreed with statements like this: when things at work don't turn out as well as they should, I stop trying. You may think of yourself as incompetent or feel like you're unable to keep up with the demands of your job. Isn't that interesting too? Neglect. I would have never thought that there was 3 types of burnout. So how to fix these? There's fixes in here. Read the article. Quick share. Overload burnout include taking breaks during the workday and taking up hobbies to pursue during off hours. Next, under-challenged. The first problem you need to solve is for finding things to feel invested in. Simply exploring your curiosities, making time for self-reflection can shine a light on new interests you want to explore. Set a goal for yourself to learn a new skill in the next 30 days. You might try job crafting too, to turn the job you have into the one you want. Job crafting involves redesigning your role and responsibilities so that you can find more meaning in your everyday tasks and make better use of your strengths. I am always looking for things to learn and do on the outside of my work, and I think that's why, is because I'm filling that void, just like this article is saying. I'm not doing it. If I had read this, I would have been like, that's what I need to do. I kind of did it naturally. It's kind of interesting. Next, neglect. Your main task should be finding ways to regain a sense of agency over your role. Focus on what you can control. Structure is more important during times of stress, so create a morning routine that you can stick to. Like this one, the morning routine. See that? So great article, guys. I really recommend you go and check it out. If you ever feel like you're, if you're having some burnout, or if you've had burnout, or you know somebody who might be feeling burnt out that you're working with, and maybe you're trying to help them move forward. Great article with some insights. So I would definitely go check it out. Let's move on over to Google Trends today. Most top 10 things searched yesterday on Google were, good morning, sister. Good to see you. I look over to by the way, so the camera is on one side of the phone, but when people come on, I don't see everything, and I can't see people's reactions to the morning routine, but the names are over on the other side. So it's weird because I'm like, looking over here saying good morning, but that's where your name is. I'm sorry. Good morning, sister. Love you. But anyways, top 10 most searched things. Number 1, World Series 2017. Dodgers won last night. Number 2, Jeff Flake. Number 3, Robert Guillaume. I think that's his name. I don't know. Number 4, YouTube TV. Number 5, Blake Lively. Number 6, Drake. Number 7, Ed Camper. Kemper. Number 8, BET. Number 9, Terry Richardson. Number 10, Anna Ferris. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of the top 10 most searched things yesterday were individuals' names, people's names. Wow, big day for the solo person, I guess. So let's move on to our trending news this morning. See what's at the top of the list. Top of the list, Senate kills rule that made it easier to sue banks. So they have wiped that out. Next, Paul Manafort. Manafort faces new money laundering probe. Next, we have National Park Service, $70 Yosemite entrance fee. Big increases proposed for national parks. Man, I'm telling you what, if they cut taxes, it's because they're able to raise money by changing a whole lot of other stuff, man, right? $70 to go to a national park, which is a park that basically we already own as taxpayers. We've already paid for it. Next, Xi Jinping. These 7 men now run China. Next, we have Jeff Flake. Highlights from Jeff Flake's Senate floor speech. Then we have Genesee County Sheriff's Office. 5 teens denied bonding in deadly highway rock throwing case. Then we have Twitter. Twitter to label election ads after U.S. regulatory threat. Then we have Mega Millions. Mega Millions lottery tickets to increase in price this weekend. Then we have Astros and Dodgers because they played last night in the World Series. And then one last story. Puerto Rico. Tesla first power project in Puerto Rico is Children's Hospital. It's supplying solar panels and commercial-sized batteries for a hospital in Puerto Rico. Way to go, Tesla. That's very cool. So that's what's trending on the news. Let's go on over and get ourselves a passage of wisdom this morning. Today, we have yet another proverb. Very, very cool. As you know, I'm a big fan of Proverbs, less fan of Psalms, but they seem to be working, right? So here we go. Today, a proverb for us is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. Interesting. Let's do that again. Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. It is better to have patience and be able to control yourself and your own emotions and your reactions to things than to be running full speed ahead, capturing cities, being a warrior, and taking that. So now let's apply that to our lives. How can I apply it? Let's see. I'm just thinking about this. So I'm thinking of a friend of mine who's been struggling with this. That's a perfect example. In this particular case, you can run full steam, looking for success, capturing business, growing like crazy, making lots of money, increasing your lifestyle, just a mover and a shaker. But if you're not patient and do not have control over yourself, it can all come crashing down. Self-control and patience is what you need more than the ability to overtake cities and be a captain of industry. So, great thing. Let's think about that today and how that can apply to our lives and where it may be lacking, because all of us lack it somewhere. Where is it lacking? Maybe it's not in our work life. Maybe it's in another part of our life that we're lacking some patience and self-control. So today, let's find out what it is. Let's pray, guys. Let's start this day. Father, good morning. Father, I thank you for today, this Wednesday, this October the 25th, 2017. Father, I'm excited for us all to have this day. For those who are this morning up early with the morning routine, it's the start of our day. We're thinking about the day ahead, and we have a list of things to do. We have tasks, we have notes on our calendar, things on a little notepad of things that have to get done today. Father, be with us as we get those things done. But Father, help us to not lose focus on the important things today, because we're so focused on what's written on that calendar of what needs to get done. Help us slow down. Help us enjoy the day. Help us be a blessing to people around us. Help us soak in and see you in many ways. Help us have patience and self-control today over our emotions, our reactions, and over the things that just we need to rein in and be a captain of and be in charge of that mean the most. Father, we love you and we thank you. Be with us today. Keep us safe as we go through our day. Help us be a light that shines everything back to you and the grace and love that you have provided to us. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. So thank you. So thank you. So thank you. What is that? I don't even know what that is. But thanks for being here this morning on the morning routine. I love starting the day with you guys every weekday morning. It's absolutely magnificent. Good morning, Barbie. Hope everything is well. So I hope you guys have a great day today. Enjoy your Wednesday. I will see you back here tomorrow morning, Thursday. Until tomorrow morning, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great day.